Hey, good day, YouTube. Today is, what is today? It's Wednesday. Must be about the 10th of August, 2017. Hope I got the date right. Picked up another Honda EU1000 Inverter Generator. One of my very first YouTube videos was fixing up one of these generators, and I still use that generator I fixed up all the time. I have a mobile DJ business, and I set up and run the mystery machine on a generator. It's parked right outside because I didn't have time to put it inside. Mystery machine, yeah. So runs my amplifiers and computer and mixer and that kind of thing. And then I have some remote amplifiers that I also use. So I need multiple generators for my remote locations, and I thought it'd be nice to have another EU1000. So far I have two other EU1000s and two EU2000s, and I've used all four of them at the same time in one day, and I don't really have a spare. The other thing is I occasionally have friends or family who wants to borrow one, and then occasionally I have, you know, like a vehicle to go get and need to run like a little air compressor or battery charger, those types of things. And I keep my other generators in, I would call them almost pristine condition. And so far, I don't really like to loan them, and I don't like to just chuck them in the back of a pickup. I keep covers on them, etc., etc. It'd be nice to have a beater. But then again, I'm not really happy with real beater, so I'm going to I bought this generator today, and I'm going to clean it up, make it nice. It does run, it smokes a little when you first start it up. So this video is going to be part one of a, yes, wait for it, seafoam treatment of this generator, and see if we can improve the way it runs. It does run okay. It's not perfect, runs okay, and it does smoke a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do, we'll do a little bit on this video, and then we'll do a follow-up, is I'm going to dump out the oil. It's obviously missing a screw here, so I'll have to order that. We don't bungee cord stuff around here, but the covers are okay. So if you never changed oil on one of these, you actually have to dump it out. It makes a mess inside, which this is a mess inside. But we'll clean that up. So I'm going to dump the oil out of this thing, and then put some good oil in it, put a little seafoam in it, put some gas in it, puts a bunch of seafoam in the gas, and start up, let it run. Maybe I just let it run till it runs out of gas. Just let it run all night long or something. It's about 7:30, 7:45 in the evening right now. But tomorrow I DJ a cruise in every week Thursday nights at Red Robin, and I think I'll try to use this tomorrow if I feel like it was reliable. Of course, I'll bring a backup in case it fails, but and go with that. So heck, while we're filming here, why don't we just dump the oil out of this thing? Set you up in a stand here a little bit, and see what else falls out. Okay, the bungee cord goes bye-bye. Let's get rid of this. So the guy started off wanted $400 for this machine, and I told him I'd be interested in a spare machine for $300, and he said, you know what, he went out and started it, and it did smoke a little bit. So $300's a pretty good price. And I said, well, my offer was for what your ad said. And the ad says runs good, does not smoke. And so I might maybe have to be a buyer at $200. And he said, well, $250 and it's yours. So I went out today. I looked at the generator. It did start right up. He didn't warm it up. First thing I do is put my hand on it, go, did he warm it up, start it on ether, that kind of thing. No. But it didn't run perfect, and it did smoke a little bit, but it seemed to clear up. And I tried to buy it for $2.25. He played the game pretty well, and declined my offer. at 2 1/4. Let's see if I can do this without dropping it. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? So I ended up buying it for the $250 that we had sort of agreed on. I believe it's worth that for a beater. I did take my voltmeter, 123 volts. The Eco throttle worked fine. That's probably good enough for the moment. Put her back up on the bench. The Eco throttle worked okay, and the 12 volt output worked. So I don't think we have any issues with it. I always tell myself, as long as I think I can at least get my money back out of it, then we're good to go. I got a couple partial quarts of oil, might as well use them up here. It's only going to be in there for an hour, so we'll probably just run it for a while till it gets good and warm, and then take the oil out. Let me grab a funnel so I don't end up with it all over the place. So again, we're just going to put the oil in it. We're going to follow it up with some sea foams. This thing doesn't hold much oil. Like, I can't remember, like less than 3/4 of a quart or something, and not that much came out of it. So these are just some partial cans of oil that I had for just doing stuff like this. This is 1030, which I would either put straight 30 weight in or 2050 Dello. That's what I use. Everybody has their own opinions. That's what I use. I'll always use. I don't like to put real thin oil in these. They just don't like it. Okay. Whoa. Really? So what was in that can of oil has filled the generator. So I think a snap decision is I'm not going to put any seafoam in the oil. Let's just run this for a while without it, and we'll put some seafoam in the gas. That oil wasn't that clean, but I'll run it a couple of times with oil in it to clean it out, and I'll run it tomorrow at the cruise in. Okay, how much should we put in there? Well, let's just gurgle a little bit. About like that. Now this only holds like 2 quarts of gas. So now we gotta put some gas in it. Oh boy. I'm gonna go find me a smaller can. So I think we'll end the video here. I'm gonna put some just regular gas in it, and then just run it for a while, and I might even run it for an hour or so and then dump this oil out and do it again. But the gas can I have handy is a completely full 5-gallon can, so I'm going to grab a smaller can, and so I don't end up with gas everywhere. It's the last thing I need. So this is part 1 of the little EU1000. She's dirty. She's greasy in there because of how you change the oil. There's nothing actually leaking in there, it's just dirty. So we'll get that cleaned up. The air filter, I already had this out, is toast. I just ordered one online, so we're not even going to try and run it with that thing in there. That's the last thing we need. Is a bunch of, the filter's, rotted, it's coming apart, so it'd be better off to run it without one for a little bit. And then just some cleanup, so it will be good to go. I'll fire it up real quick so you can watch the smoke situation. Let's do that real quick, because the follow-up will fire it up after change the oil a couple times and run some seafoam through it, etc. So switch on, choke on, choke off. Smoking a little. starting to clear it up. And pretty much cleared up. But it runs okay. She's probably got a lot of hours on it, but like I said, she's be something I could loan out, take on a vehicle rescue, take it in the boat, and in the salt air and that kind of thing, and not worry so much about if it gets stolen. Yeah, I'll be bummed, but I didn't spend $800 for it. So these cost $800 new. The 2,000 watt units are $1,000 a piece. So I just thought it'd be cool to have a beater, and so we got one. So we'll end the video here. I'll go ahead and put some fuel in it and just run it. Might plug a little load into it, and then run it for a half-hour or something, and then change the oil again. And I'll get some seafoam in it first next time, and we'll see how that goes. If I'm not happy with the result, after running it tomorrow, I might flood the cylinder with seafoam. That's like pull the spark plug out and just dump it in. And maybe there's some carbon, maybe its top ring's a little sticky, something like that. We'll see. We're just trying to improve it a little bit, not trying to make it brand new. So thanks for commenting, watching, and subscribing, and come back for part 2.